Hi, this is my first weblog. Pretty much I decided to change from blog to doing it on camera because a lot of people said that they thought they'd rather apparently see my face or hear the information. I think probably just because everyone's too lazy to read 2 or 3 pages of blog, so they'd rather just listen. So you can just listen and ignore my face. But the first thing I wanted to talk about this week was Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving's coming up. I realize some college students lack common sense when it comes to Thanksgiving. I was working desk in Building B and creeping pretty much on people's conversations, because that's pretty much what you do when you work desk. You hear parts of people's conversations and you guess what they're talking about. But these 2 girls came in, and the one was saying about how Thanksgiving isn't always on Thursdays. I thought, that's interesting. The one that was walking next to her corrected her and said, no, it's not always on Thursdays. Last year it was on Wednesday, but this year it's on Thursday. And I was thinking, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but at least I know that Thanksgiving's always on a Thursday. However, I must say that I'm not very smart either, because for some crazy reason I thought that Thanksgiving was always also on the 25th. And then I was thinking about it and I thought, Thanksgiving can't be on a Thursday and on the 25th. That'd be impossible. So I guess I'm just as dumb as the girls from Building B. So that reminds me, I have to explain my fail of the week, since I'm talking about my stupidity already. So my fail of the week was I was working Building B desk. I don't think this was the same day as that fail, but I was reaching for my flash drive that was under the desk in the computer, because the monitor has an area for flash drives, but it doesn't work. So I have to reach under the desk and put my flash drive in. Well, I went down to pick it up and reach it and grab my flash drive and hit my head on the desk and actually fell to the ground, and it really, really hurt. And then the chair went flying backwards, and it was a pretty much epic fail. So I must say that pretty much sucked. So what grinds my gears this week is that places are always closing early. That just really annoys me. Not just if places close earlier than they should, but if a place says that they're open till 9, that really doesn't mean till 9. That means they're going to start cleaning up around 8, and you shouldn't come after 7:30. I just think that's ridiculous. A good example was the library. The library now closes at 11, which is really early. But then they start making announcements already at 10:15 saying that you have to leave, the library is going to be closing. So really, if you're going to get work done at the library, you have to go before 8, so you can actually get an hour of decent work, or maybe 2 hours, before they start making annoying announcements that start hindering your work. So that really grinds my gears. It also annoys me that places in SlipRock close so early. Camelot closes at 7 p.m., McDonald's closes at 11 p.m., the brewery closes at midnight. I mean, this is a college town. Don't you think places could be open till at least 2 a.m.? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. And I just don't like that at a restaurant, if they close, let's say, at 11 p.m., that you can't come at 10 or 10:30 because they're already cleaning up, and then they glare at you and they're like, why are you coming already? If it says you're open till 11, doesn't that mean I can come in at 10:59 if I really wanted to? I mean, that'd be kind of mean to do, but at least you could come in at 10:30. And then places try to kick you out before they even say they're closing. And that really annoys me. Another thing that really grinds my gears this week was I had a pretty bad mail day last week, actually. I got some mail from my banks and from Armstrong. And this Armstrong bill I got said $150. I thought, never got an Armstrong bill for $150 before, so I thought I'd call them. And after being on hold and talking to this person and that person, I finally got to talk to a real representative that said she could solve my problem. So I asked her and I said, yeah, I got my bill. It was $150 and I thought it was going to be $82. And she said, oh yeah, well, there were some extra fees and stuff I noticed. After she took all my personal information, she got it. And she's like, yeah, there was an extra fee because it was over a month. I was like, oh, I understand that. If it's a month and then an extra couple days, you're going to charge an extra a little bit. But shouldn't that extra that you charge be a fraction of a month? She's like, well, we can kind of charge whatever we want for that extra. So I'm like, okay, so a typical month is $55, but an extra few days is $65. So then she tried to tell me that it was some premium cable charge and that I didn't have the regular cable. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have the regular cable. And actually the cable that I do have sucks because I only get 50 or 60 channels and I'm paying $150 for that. So I would like to disconnect service. So then I had to talk to a bunch of other representatives because you can't just quit the cable without talking to somebody. So I quit that, and I'm glad because Armstrong doesn't like me anyways. So then I got some bank notifications, and that was pretty interesting. The first one I opened was from Bank of America, and I thought, I read the article, I read all the fine print and everything on the letter, and pretty much it seemed like because of the tough economic times, they decided to make the fees less. So I was like, oh, that's good. Well, then I get to my Citizens Bank account and read that letter. Well, all those fees increased. So I was like, oh, great. Now I can't do anything. All those fees increased, and my checking account is not free anymore. So I was like, I don't really like Citizens Bank anymore. I might have to end that service too. So it was just a bad mail day. It was just annoying. Another thing, while I'm talking about banks, I think it's kind of funny how they have like the passwords on your online banking. These passwords can be really anything, long as they're 6 characters. And as long as you know somebody's password or could figure it out in 6 characters and know their mother's maiden name, you can get access to pretty much anyone's bank account. However, my e-time password requires it to be 8 characters. It has to have a capital letter, a lowercase letter, and a number. So it's like, don't want anyone breaking into my e-time, which is just my portal for how I get paid for campus payroll, which isn't anything that would really matter if anyone broke into. But, if you want to get into somebody's bank account, it shouldn't be much of trouble. Had a crazy practical this week for my exercise science courses. That was just insane. Really stressed me out this week. Kind of grinded my gears on Thursday that I had to be there and wait an hour just to do some skin fold testing. Just overall really stressful, but I'm glad that's over. And I'd also like to just comment on the Rocket, since the Rocket was kind of annoying me this week. The one article in the Rocket was talking about how, just an overall review of the movie Unstoppable, which is actually like my favorite movie of the month. Not just because it's starring Denzel Washington, but it's a great movie about an action-packed film with a runaway train, and Denzel and another guy are trying to stop it. And it's a really good plotline, I thought, and everything was just really good. But the writer of this article in the Rocket pretty much said he didn't like trains because old, smelly people ride on them, which I have an issue with because it's not nice to stereotype against old people, and I love old people. They're awesome, and they're funny. And then he pretty much said any movie with Denzel Washington can't be a good movie because he's not an actor. And Denzel Washington's my favorite actor, so that kind of makes me mad. And then he pretty much said that the movie Unstoppable had no plot and no excitement throughout the movie. And I was thinking, it's a runaway train. It's going to blow up like a town because there's a sharp turn in this town, and if they can't stop it or slow it down before that turn, it's going to destroy thousands of people. And he said that wouldn't even really matter if it killed those people because it's a small town. That's what he said. I was like, what does it really matter? There's thousands of lives that could be destroyed. I think that makes an acceptable plot. So I thought that was a pretty good movie, but the article that I read in the Rocket just really grinded my gears and annoyed me. So yeah, that's pretty much my weblog for this week. Leave lots of comments and stuff. Let me know if you liked it or whatever, and I'll try to tag everyone in it. Alright, I'll see ya.